YouTube friends and family and subscribers. This is your old pal Mike Cayley 7. Coming to you on this perfect day. Temperature is in the 70s, I'd imagine. I'll let you know in a few minutes. Sorry about the sun in your face there. Maybe I just won't use that angle at this point. I've got two cameras on today. Can you see that one? Anyway. My bike says it's 84 degrees, but I know it's not. It's going to be lower than that. So, I was thinking about doing a video on fighting. Not that I fight, but I just had this thought over the weekend. It might be a cool topic. Talk to you a little bit about how I was raised. You see, when I was a kid, things were different back then. I think fighting was a lot more common than it is today. Physical violence was more common than now. And back then, if two guys got in a fight, if you went to the cops and say, hey, that guy punched me, the cops would probably have said, well, what's wrong with you? Go punch him back. What are you bothering me for? But nowadays, if you just look the wrong way at somebody, they're accusing you of terroristic threatening and this and that. So we're much less tolerant of it, which I think is a good thing as a society. But in other ways, it may be that it causes other problems, like people are, instead of, like in the old days, it used to be, I'm going to kick your ass. And nowadays, it's I'm going to kill you. If somebody beats you in a fight, you come back with a gun and shoot him because you've been humiliated because he physically beat you. That happens a lot nowadays. But an interesting statistic, actually. I was talking to Sam Smith about this. Hey, Sam. And it inspired me to do a little bit of research. And I looked up statistics on overall gun deaths, including suicides and mistakes and stuff. From 1979 to 2010, it went as low as 26,000 per year, and as high as 38,000 per year. The 26 or 28 was like 1995 or 6. And like the worst year ever was like 1992, 93. It was like 38,000 people were killed. But it all averages out, in terms of the homicides especially, it all averages out to about 11,000 people killed in homicides by guns per year. The suicides are always more than the accidents, but the homicide rate for guns is about 11,000 per year. So when these massive school shooting things, mass shootings happen, people say we need more gun control. No, statistics don't bear that out. The same number, well, I'll get to this in a minute. You could say the same number now die as did in 1979, so we don't need gun control. And then the other thing you can say is that, what's the other thing you can say? I just realized that I left my phone at school, so I got to go back. Now, people are saying, well, we need more armed guards at school to protect our kids. We protect our banks. We protect our money. Why not protect our children? Aren't they the most precious resource? Well, statistically speaking, the argument to arm every school and every teacher and to put, police officers with guns in front of the school, it's not borne out by the statistics. You don't need either one. You don't need gun control and you don't need more guns on school campuses and stuff because the same amount of people die. But then it gets even better. If the average is 11,000, I did the math on this, the average number of people who die every year in homicide from guns, it's about 11,000 a year. And back in the first year of the statistic that I found, 1979, the population of the United States was 229 million. And the population in 2010, or now, I guess, is like 329 million. So, if you do the percentages, 11,000, it used to be like 5% of the population died from homicide by guns, and now it's only 3% of the population die from homicide by guns. So, you see what I'm saying? Do you smell what I'm cooking? We actually have less gun violence now than we did in the 1970s, in the golden age. It's actually safer now than it used to be in the 1970s. So we don't need gun control, and we don't need to put police officers at every school. We need to basically stop watching the news. I really believe that. Stop watching the damn news. Because it's not really helping you. Here I was thinking, see, my whole point has always been this. If gun violence was getting more, it's because we live in a hyper-violent society where it's on TV all the time, it's in the media, blah, blah, blah. But violence isn't getting worse, it's getting better. And I was thinking maybe we should criticize the media for making us more violent and sensationalizing these kinds of attacks, because the kid that did that shooting most recently, he said he wanted to be like the previous shooter, apparently. So you can say blame the media, but wait a minute now, maybe the media is scaring us so much that we're becoming less violent because we think we're too violent. It's kind of like if you got an alcoholic and he has a fresh bottle of booze, and when he's not looking, you know, you dump it out when he's halfway through it. And then he comes back a few minutes later and says, look, dude, you drank all that. He's like, oh, man, I got a problem. I got to cut down. He doesn't need to cut down. You just mess with him. Maybe that's the media. They're emptying our booze bottles of fear or filling them up. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Right? All right, so as I head back to school to pick up my cell phone, because I forgot it like an idiot, here's an idea. Oh, and I forgot my jacket too. Damn, I just wasn't even thinking today. When I was a little kid, I used to come home and say to my dad, this kid's bothering me. He's a bully, whatever. He's in a grade higher than I am or whatever. My dad would say, all right, you're old enough now, I got to teach you this. All right, you see this right here? You see this? Okay, well, with this right here, right? You reach behind the ear, you pull the ear right off, you pull the ear off. And you see this right here? You see this right here? You put that inside the mouth and you pop the cheek out. Yeah. Oh, pop that cheek right out. And see this right here? See this right here? What you do with this thing right here is you chop in the throat. You gouge out his eyes. And then when he's on the ground, bleeding and in pain, you lean down and you grab a fistful of his hair and you pull it tight and you whisper in his ear, next time I'll kill you. And I looked at my dad, and he was very serious. And I said to myself, I didn't say to him, I said, I'm 7. I'm 7 years old. No, I'm not going to do that. So what you do with the bully, you find if there's a group of them, you find the leader. You go to fight the leader first. You come down on the top of his nose just like a hammer. Bam! You flatten his nose all over his face and blood everywhere, and he'll stop fighting immediately. I take the fight right out of him. And all his friends will run away too. And you got to make a crazy face. You got to be crazy. You got to be like you're going to kill him. And again, I was 7 years old. He taught me how to break legs, break arms, break fingers. How to choke somebody out. He taught me about weapons, how to flip people. I mean, all of that, because he was a Marine. And he was a street fighter his whole life growing up. So he taught me all that stuff. But my way out of fights wasn't to beat the hell out of people. I didn't want to hurt anybody. So I used to say to them, I have asthma. If you hit me and I get in a fight with you, I'll die of an asthma attack. So they'd be like, yeah, all right, never mind. They wouldn't beat me up. They wouldn't bother me because they knew I was too wimpy. That strategy served me well from the age of 7 until the age of about 13. And when I was 13 and went to junior high school, I had to fight. And I used the stuff my dad taught me. And it served me. It served me very well. But I'm not proud of it. Anyway, I'll talk to you in a sec here. I got to go in here and get some stuff. Hey, look kids, Big Ben, Parliament.